जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariraj Acharya Ashtotar Shatar Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Vibhuti Founder Acharya Savior of the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariraj Acharya Ashtotar Shatar Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। तिरंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री श्री चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय। संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज ऑल ग्लोरीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरांगा, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Which verse you are displaying? Okay. Yes. So we are reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 2, entitled Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, verse number 38 to 42. नारा शब्दे कहे सर्व जीवेर निश्चय अनय शब्दे कहे ताहार आश्रय. Translation. The word Nara refers to the aggregate of all the living beings, and the word Ayan refers to the refuge of them all. Next verse, 39th. Ataheva tumi ho mula narayana. Ei eka hetu suno ditiya karana. You are therefore the original Narayan. This is one of the reasons. Please listen as I state the second. Jivera Ishvara Purna Shadi Jivera Ishvara Purna Adi Avatar Taha Sabak Haite Tumara Aishwarya Apar. The direct Lord of the living being are the Purusha incarnation, but your opulences and power are more exalted than theirs. Athaeva Adishvara Tumi Sarva Pita Tumara Shakati Tahara Jagata Rakshita. Therefore, you are the primeval Lord, the original Father of everyone. They, the Purushas, are protector of the universe by your powers. Narayana Yakta Yate Kahara Palana Ataheva Heo Tumi Mula Narayana. Since you protect those who are the shelter of all the living beings, we can recite this verse. Narayana Yatakahara Rapalana Athaeva Heo Tumi Mula Narayana. Narayana Yatakahara Palana Narayana Yatakahara Athaeva Heo Tumi Mula Narayana. Please recite. Please. Narayana Yate Ka. Narayana Taka Narayana. जय श्री राधा गोविंद देव की जय, गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय, गौनिताय की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. माता जी. palana. Atayeva heyatumi mula narayana. Translation: since you protect those who are the shelter of all living beings, you are the original Narayan. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The controlling deity of the living beings in the mundane world are the three Purusha avatars, but the potent energy displayed by Sri Krishna is far more extensive than that of Purushas. Sri Krishna is therefore the original Father and the Lord who protects all creative manifestations through his various plenary portions. Since he sustains even the shelter of the collective living beings, there is no doubt that Sri Krishna is the original Narayan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Caitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamischa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamischa Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyat Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Divya Vrindavan Kalpratu Mada Srimat Ratnagara Simhasanasto Shila Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishta Libhi Se Manas Marami Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Asya Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vācālam tamam mulayate griyat kripātamam mande Shri Guru Dīnatarina. Om Vishnu Padaya. Hare Krishna. First of all, I like to seek blessings of all the devotees who have assembled here to bless me so that I can speak something on the exalted book of Caitanya-caritāmṛta. This is like first class I am giving on Caitanya-caritāmṛta. We have already spoken on Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, but to speak on Caitanya-caritāmṛta is, as Prabhupada tells, that Bhagavatam is for the Caitanya-caritāmṛta is for like doing PhD. So in front of all the devotees, speaking on something which is not of my realization, but still will attempt as a service to all of you and as a glorification of Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and for the purification of my heart. That is more important. Hare Krishna. So seek all of your blessings. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. So this section, what we are reading, is a very wonderful section. This is Ādi-līlā, describing we'll just go through the flow, what is happening, then we can understand what is happening. So in the second chapter of Caitanya-caritāmṛta, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glorification as the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been established. So in the first 14 verses of Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Mangalacharan, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's establishment as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and why he has incarnated in this material world, the internal reasons and the external reasons have been emphasized. And here in this chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining the third, that is Vastav Vastu. He is establishing the Vastav Vastu of this Ādi-līlā. When in this one. So here the prayers of Brahmaji, Brahmaji is praying to Lord Krishna in the pastime of Brahma Vimon Lila, and then Brahmaji is praying, and how he is establishing that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this chapter, generally first Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami establishes that how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then later he tells how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna, they are not different. And this is where he's explaining that how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this starts the glorification of the prayers of Brahmaji. Before that, there is a prayer by on the 21st verse. Bhishmadev is praying as the sun, as the one sun appears differently situated in different aspect, so also do you, the unborn, appear differently represented as Paramatma in every living being. But whereas a seer knows him to be one of your own servitor, no longer does he maintain such duality. Thus I am now able to comprehend your external form, knowing well the Paramatma to be your own plenary portion. So Bhishmadev is praying in his prayers, and then later Brahmaji starts praying. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami establishes that how Krishna is Supreme Lord by bringing this dialogue between Brahmaji and Krishna. So in this 36 to 39 verses, the word Narayan has been given, explained very nicely. All living beings within the material and the spiritual world ultimately are born through you, and you are the super soul of all of them. And the word Nara refers to the aggregate of all living beings, the verse we were reading. So, and Narayan refers to the refuge. So all living beings, when they come together and they are there established, they are there in this material world. And Narayan refers to one who is giving refuge to all of them. And this 41 and 42nd verse, they describe the second reason. That is, the Lord, the direct Lord of the living beings are the Purushas, incarnations of your opulences and the power more exalted than you. So in this purport, there is a very beautiful sentence which I want to focus, and we'll be discussing more on that thing. That is, the controlling deity of all the living beings is in the mundane world are the three Purusha avatars. What are the three Purusha avatars? Yeah. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So these Purusha avatars are there, and they are the controlling deities of living beings in the mundane world. In this material world, these deities are there who are controlling the complete universe actually. Shirodakshaya Vishnu, Karnodakshaya Vishnu and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So because of them, this universe expands, and this universe manifests, and this universe runs. So, and then, but the Prabhupada writes in the next line, but the potent energy displayed by Sri Krishna is far more extensive than the Purushas. So, how Lord is more, the potent energy displayed by Sri Krishna is far more extensive than these Purushas. So, how this is happening, we will go through some of the verses and understand how Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, he tells many of the verses telling how is the Param Tattva, how he is Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu, Akhila Rasamrita, Akhila Rasamrita Murti, and how he is Sarva Shaktiman. Just like we understand, Param Tattva. There are many verses in Brahma Samhita. Also, we know that this verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. And then Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the this verse? Ete Chamsla Krishna, Krishna tu Bhagwan Swayam, Indrari Vakulam. In that verse also, that it is established that how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then we understand that how all the great acharyas, they have accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada writes it in the commentary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita that Sripad Ramanacharya has accepted, Sripad Shankaracharya has accepted, and who are we to question these acharyas, and why don't we accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So this is very properly been explained there, that Madhusudan Saraswati also, he writes in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, he tells, Krishnat paramam kim api tattvam ham na jane. I do not know any truth superior than to Sri Krishna. So when we accept the words of the Acharya, it becomes very easy for us to accept who is the Supreme Lord, and there will be no other questions in our mind lingering. Here at least it becomes very easy here to accept who is the Supreme Lord. But when you go back to India, there are so many gods that everyone is worshipping. Whenever there is a festival which is coming up, there is a one god which comes up. Like everyone becomes so prominent to worship that Lord. Like starting from the, starting with if Ganesh Chaturthi comes, then people want to worship Ganesh, and they consider Ganesh to be supreme. Or Shivratri comes, then people want to worship Lord Shiva as the supreme. Or if Navratri comes, then people want to worship Mother Durga as supreme. And Dasara comes, they bring Lord Ramchandra as the Supreme Lord. But this tattva is not understood, that who is the Supreme. Now if Janmashtami comes, they want to celebrate Krishna as the Supreme Lord also. So they want to celebrate everyone, they want to keep everyone satisfied and very happy. That is their motive behind worshipping the Lord. But here, when we accept the acharyas, the words of the acharyas, it becomes very easy whom we should worship and whom we should accept as the Supreme Lord. So if we accept the words of Acharya, it becomes very, very easy that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and if we accept and if we worship him, our life will be so sublime and our life will be successful in our practice of spiritual life. And how is Sarva Shaktiman? There are many shlokas where Krishna tells about his Shaktis also in Bhagavad Gita. So there is this Krishna possesses Sarva Shakti. He has Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti. So all these are actually working, whenever Krishna is performing any pastime or anything, these Shaktis, through these energies, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti, he is doing and manifesting everything, like he is putting his desires, and then, all this material universes manifest. He just wants the Kriya Shakti to work, and then the manifestation, the secondary manifestation of the universe takes place. And then the Jnana Shakti also takes place, helps in establishing, giving the knowledge to the Brahmaji, and then giving the knowledge to Brahmaji, and then the secondary and external manifestation of the universe takes place. So Krishna gives the first push, and that means the successive pushes, the entire cosmic manifestation has been taken care by these Shaktis. And then he is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Oftentimes, a man has control with him and he becomes the object of fear because of his greatness. But here, the Supreme Lord is not like that. Supreme Lord is very, very sweet. He's full in six opulences, and he plays his flute and attracts all the living entities. He's, in one of the temples, in Kerala, there is this Ādi-līlā temple. In Ādi-līlā temple, there is this very beautiful painting, not painting, what do you call, on the pillar, a very beautiful Krishna which is carved as Murlidhar. He's playing the flute as Murlidhar. And the very beautiful thing is, he's playing the flute, and there is a cow standing right on two legs, and his arms are raised, and they are hearing the flute of Krishna. But the cow is standing on the tiger's shoulders, and there is one more animal which is there, that is the deer is there under the deer is carrying the tiger, and the cow is standing on the tiger and hearing the flute of Krishna. So when this was seen, one devotee was explaining very beautifully. This is what happens when we hear the beautiful sweet notes of Lord Krishna. That even though these animals are like in very, very different modes, if a tiger comes, the cow runs away, or the deer is not near to the tiger. But they forget their own nature, and they become so loving to each other that they are giving shelter to each other actually. And they are absorbed in the beautiful flute sound of Krishna. So this is Akhila Rasamrita Murti, he's very beautifully been explained. So now we'll understand in Bhagavad Gita there are so many verses which tells how Krishna is the supreme person. He's the creator of so many universes. He's the owner of all the planets, and then he's supreme controller, and then he's supreme enjoyer, and he's the father of all species of life, and then who is God above all gods. So we'll take some shlokas, and if you can also tell these shlokas. These are very, very famous shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Which shloka of Bhagavad Gita tells that Krishna is the creator of all the crores of universes? Very famous. Yes. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarva prabaddate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samadvita. He tells that I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who knows me engages in my devotional service. Okay, he is the owner of all the planets, which is the shloka. Owner of all the planets. And he is the enjoyer. This is easy. 5th chapter, it comes in 5th chapter. Bhuktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surudam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shanti rakshati. A person, this is like very famous verse, this peace formula what has been explained. This is a famous for peace formula. A person in full consciousness knows me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all the planets and the demigods. So he's called Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He's Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, means he's the owner of all the planets. And then he is the enjoyer of the sacrifices and austerities of the devotees. So if anyone has to do any sacrifice or any austerity, who is the enjoyer? That is the Supreme Lord. He is the enjoyer. And then how is he supreme controller? There is this shloka from Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Maya dakshena prakriti suryate sa characharam hetu aneva kaunteya jagata viparita tate. The material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. Maya dakshena prakriti. So we were hearing about this, that Krishna has 3 Shaktis. So under his rule, manifestations and creation is annihilated again and again. Okay, how is Supreme Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita? There is this shloka that he is the father of all species of life. Which is this verse? Yeah, Aham Bija Pratapita. It starts with what? Everyone knows this line, Aham Bija Pratapita. Yes. Hari Bol. Prabhu remembers everything. It should be understood that all the species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by the birth in the material nature, and I am the seed-giving father. There is one more shloka in 9th chapter. Pitaham asyas jagato mata data pitamaha vedesham pavitram omkara rik sama yajur evacha. So I am the father of the universe, the mother, the support and grandsire. I am the object of the knowledge, purifier and the symbol of Om. So Krishna is telling here. Okay, one more shloka is there. Anyone from 7th chapter where he tells that I am the seed, I am the father? Which one? Yes. Yes, there is no truth superior to me. Okay, there is one more, this bija ham mama sarva bhutanam vidhim partam sanatanam buddhir buddhimata asmin tejas vanamaham. O son of Partha, know me, I am the original seed of all existence. Okay, so this is about the Lord being the father of everyone, he's giving himself, he's giving all his things by himself. And how is the Supreme Lord above all gods, Now we were discussing that, in India there are so many demigods which we want to worship. But now Krishna is telling so many shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. We are not going to Srimad Bhagavatam because Srimad Bhagavatam also there are so many shlokas. But Bhagavad Gita is the basic book where, all devotees should be knowing. So we want to quote from there. Anyone from 7th chapter, 10th chapter, there are beautiful shlokas about telling that how he is God above all gods. That's Bhagavatam, yeah. Yeah, we accept that also. So that's why I'm telling devotees know everything, but this is like very beautiful. That is also there. Yes. Parabrahma. Yeah, this shloka is there. Param Brahma, Param Dhamam, Pavitram. And then this one also is there. Matta Param Tam Nyatya Kishidasti Dhananjaya Mai Sarva Idham Proktam Sutta Maniganam. So Krishna is telling that everything rests on me. And those who knows me, this truth is superior to me. So we understand what is the position of the Supreme Lord here. He is the supreme enjoyer, he is the supreme owner of all the planets, he is the father of all the species of the life. He is the supreme controller actually. And he's establishing himself as the creator of universe. So by knowing this thing, what happens in the heart of a living entity is that there is always a respect developed for a person. When we see, a person owns a big mansion, or when we want to go and visit him, we definitely have a lot of respect for him because he is owning such a big mansion. So same way, when we understand who is the Supreme Lord, and we understand that he is the owner of this complete universe, he is himself telling, and he is all the acharyas are accepting, so it becomes very easy for us to have this great respect. That's how we know the greatness of the Supreme Lord. When we know the greatness of the Supreme Lord, it becomes very, very easy for us to establish great respect for him, and then that's how we can love the Supreme Lord, by knowing the greatness of the Supreme Lord. There is this one more sentence in this that is very beautiful. The Sri Krishna is therefore the original father and the Lord who protects all the creative manifestations through his various plenary portions. Since he sustains even the shelter of the collective living beings, there is no doubt that Sri Krishna is the original Narayan. So we'll now see this very beautiful thing, qualities. Last time our Jugal Kishore Prabhu was discussing about the different qualities the living entities have. So a living entity may possess around, there are 64 qualities which are established in which are there, and a living entity may possess around 45 something like that, or 45 to 47. It's mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. But Lord Brahma possesses 50 qualities which are there mentioned in this thing. And then Lord Shiva possesses how many qualities? 55. 55 qualities. And Lord Vishnu? 60 qualities. And then for Krishna, there is 64 qualities which are mentioned actually. So, these 4 exclusive qualities of Lord Krishna are very, very beautiful. Does anyone remember these qualities? We were discussing just few within a week, I think, within a week back. Okay. Leela Madhuri. Someone else? Yeah, he has a flute. That is Venu Madhuri. And Leela Madhuri. 2 more. Prema Madhuri, okay. That is Rupa Madhuri. His Roop is very, very special. And one more is his Leela Madhuri. Pastimes are very, very special. So it's easy to remember Leela Madhuri, Bhakta Madhuri, or he is always surrounded by the devotees. And then Venu Madhuri. He is always attracting all the living beings by playing his beautiful flute. And his Rupa Madhuri, his beauty, extraordinary beauty. So, this exclusive qualities of Lord Krishna as wonderful pastimes of Leela Madhuri. Lord Krishna is so wonderful and he attracts all the living entities. This is like an advertisement that the living entities are missing something in this material world. Whenever Lord Krishna comes and does his Leela here in this material world, this is because just to attract the living entities who are suffering in this material world. How are we suffering? We are suffering with the anarthas, with lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, illusion. And these anarthas have been tormenting the living entity from the time he is taking, as soon as he becomes little young, these anarthas are attacking him like anything. He's been surrounded, but somehow because of the illusion or because of the Maya covering, a living entity never understands that he is suffering from these things. So it's very, very, that's why because of that thing, the living entity goes into anxiety, depression, he becomes sometimes very, very much lusty, sometimes he becomes very greedy, sometimes he wants post position and other things like that. And because of these things, the living entity is not able to access the sweetness of the Lord or access not the sweetness of the Lord, but he is not able to understand what is so beneficial for him, because he is not understanding what is so good for him. So that's why Lord, what he does is he comes and performs his pastimes here, and the acharyas and the sadhus, they propagate, they expand, they propagate these pastimes actually, and that's how we come to know these pastimes of how Lord is so very merciful. And this is where Lord attracts the heart of the living entity, so that we get attracted to the Lord and we go back to Godhead. We work on this process of going back back to Godhead. So for devotees, it's very, very important. Like in the last verse of Brahma Samhita, Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataru Dhrumas Bhumi Chintamani. What is that? Dhrumas Bhumi Chintamani. I'm not. Yeah. So in that it is told what is spiritual world actually. Spiritual world is, there is every song, every word we sing is a song actually. We are singing glorifying the Lord. Every step we take is a dance what we perform actually. And whatever we sing, it's very, very sweet, and the Lord has been attracted by that sweetness. So here in this exclusive qualities of Lord Krishna, Leela Madhuri, Lord performs so many pastimes in Vrindavan. There is, our Lord is called Makhan Chor. No one calls his Lord as Makhan Chor or a thief, but he's called as Makhan Chor. So one time Mother Yashoda caught Lord Krishna stealing butter. His hand was inside the pot of the makhan, and Mother Yashoda came and he caught, Lala, what are you doing now? And then Krishna told, Mother, you make me wear these bracelets, which are so, they become so hot that my hand becomes very, very hot by wearing this bracelet. Just to make them cool, I am putting my hand in the makhan, in the pot of makhan, so that my hand becomes very cool. So this is the reason that how Krishna gives when he is caught. There is one time, there is what beautiful reasons he gives. There are so many reasons what Krishna gives. One time he challenged all the gopis that I'll come and definitely steal all of your makan. And the gopis told, you cannot do that anyway. We will keep the makan very, very safely in our house. So that day Krishna came, and he came with a very very anxiety mood, and he told, Maya, please give me the makan. There's so many sadhus who are visiting the Nanda Bhavan that our makan got over. And then the other gopis, they felt, that we should give. Mother Yashoda is asking, Mother Yashoda is asking for makan. Please give. And they immediately understood that that it is Mother Yashoda who needs the makan. So immediately they brought all the pots and they gave it to Krishna. And as soon as Krishna got the pots, and he went little 4 steps ahead, and all his Gopa Balas are waiting for him, that how easily he got this makan chor. And then they started enjoying the makan, enjoying with all of them. So these are few of his pastimes where, one time Mother Yashoda caught eating makan, and makan was all over his face. And then Mother Yashoda asked, why your face has been, there is makan all over your face? Bole, there are ants actually which were going all my face, and I was trying to remove the ants. So because of that thing, there is makan all over my face. So this is how Lord is called Makhan, actually, Makhan Chor. Our devotees are so expert that they write shlokas after shloka for establishing how Lord Krishna is Makhan Chor. They write Ashtakams, Vraja Prasidam. There is this glorifying verses how Lord Krishna is Makhan Chor. So this is how Krishna wants to attract all the living entities back to him, actually, by exhibiting his very beautiful sweet pastimes. And there is this Bhakta Madhuri. Lord Krishna is always surrounded with his devotees. There is not a single photo of Krishna where I have seen that Lord Krishna is not surrounded by his devotees. There is always some devotee which is there around Krishna. We see Krishna with with all the cows, or with his peacock, or with the parrot, or with his flute, or there is not a single time where Krishna is not there with his bhaktas. And there is this explanation of how Lord Krishna can give so much to the devotees. For Putna, when Putna came to kill Aho Bhakyam, in that shloka, Vidurji is explaining that how Krishna is so compassionate that even to a nurse who came as a witch to kill him, to Putna came as a witch to kill him, and Krishna just saw that the motherly nature of Putna, and gave him the position of a mother in the spiritual world. So just for Putna, if he is giving the spiritual motherly position in the spiritual world, so for a devotee, what all he will be giving. So there is this beautiful shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam which describes what Mother Yashoda got. Mother Yashoda, one second, I'll just come to this shloka. So in the pastimes of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna in the Damodar Ādi-līlā, there is this shloka which comes 10:9, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 9th chapter, verse number 19. Maharaj Parikshit, the entire universe, which is with its great exalted demigod like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Indra, is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Supreme Lord has one special transcendental attribute. He comes under the control of his devotee. This is now exhibited by Krishna in this pastime, in the pastime of Damodar Leela. And then in the next shloka, he tells, neither Lord Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor even Goddess of Fortune. Whom are we speaking? Brahmaji, Shivaji, not Shivaji, Shivji, and then Goddess of Fortune. Who are always anxious to serve the Supreme Lord. They don't know who is always better half of the Supreme Lord, cannot obtain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then who can obtain it? That Mother Yashoda had received such mercy. Mother Yashoda could receive that mercy because she was the mother of Lord Krishna. And such was the merciful nature of the Lord that he bestowed such mercy on Mother Yashoda. Neither Lord Brahma nor Shiva nor even Goddess of Fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead the deliverer from the material world. Such mercy was received by Mother Yashoda. Prabhupada writes in this purport, very beautiful point. Krishna has the transcendental quality of Vatsya, becoming subordinate to his Bhratya or servant. Now, although everyone is Bhratya, and although Krishna has the quality of becoming subordinate to his Bhratya, the position of Mother Yashoda is the greatest. That's how the position of Mother Yashoda is very, very great. And then there is this Bhakta Madhuri, and then there is this Venu Madhuri. In Venu Madhuri, Krishna is been playing the flute just to attract. There is this shloka in 10th canto describing the uh, glories of the flute, which was exhibited, which the gopis are singing. Very beautiful shloka. I'll just read the translation for you. One second. So gopis are playing, are singing this thing. My dear friends, as Krishna and Balram passes through the forest with the cowherd friends leading their cows, they carry ropes to bind the cow's rear leg at the time of milking. When Lord Krishna plays his flute, the sweet music causes the moving living entities to become stunned and non-moving trees to tremble with ecstasy. These things are certainly very, very wonderful. So what happens when Krishna plays his flute? Moving things become non-moving, and the non-moving things become moving. So when Giriraj is there, when he was playing under the Govardhan, when Krishna was there and he was playing his flute, Giriraj was in such ecstasy that it was moving. And immediately all the gopas and gopis, they told, you don't play the flute now. If you play the flute, there will be risk for all the gopas, all the Brajvasis. Because if Giriraj starts melting because of the ecstasy of hearing the flute, we know what happens to you when you play the flute. The cows, they stop moving, the rivers stop flowing, the birds stop moving actually, and they are just hearing. They get hearing, and then the rocks, they start melting when they hear the flute. So anyone who is keeping his leg on the rocks, after some time when Krishna stops playing the flute, they get stunned again. So this is the ecstasy of playing the flute of Krishna. So when Krishna plays the flute, this is what happens. And then there is Rupa Madhuri, how Krishna is the supreme attractor for all living entities. His Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. So it's almost 9 o'clock now. So we'll stop here. These are the 4 exclusive qualities of Krishna which are different from Lord Vishnu, and that is what has been described here in this verse, that how Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and that he sustains and gives shelter to all the collective living beings. There is no doubt about this thing. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki. Anyone wants to add something? Please. Hare Krishna. One. Acharya and Mr. Prabhu wants to add something? Mike is coming. Prajmohan Prabhu can add something. Okay.
No question, Prabhuji, but you nicely pointed out from taken from Caitanya-caritāmṛta about, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then connected verses from Bhagavad Gita, and those 4 qualities, Rupa Madhuri, Bhakta Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, and what else?
Bhaktama, Venu Madhuri.
You have given the verses from Bhagavatam also, and to establish those 4 qualities compared beyond Vishnu, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. It was nicely discoursed. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. जय शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि गौर। हरे कृष्ण।